Then the Lord answered me and said, record the what? The vision, and inscribe it on tablets, that the one who reads it may run. For the vision is yet for the appointed time. It hastens toward the goal, and it will not fail. Though it tarries, wait for it, for it will certainly come. It will not delay. Life is like a journey. Eventually, a journey has a destination. And since all of us are eventually going to reach the end, we might as well reach the end on purpose. See, I feel like many people are not going to arrive at their destination on purpose because they're going through life without a vision. They don't know what they're doing. They just get up in the morning, they eat, they drink. Later on, they have some fun. They eat, drink, and are merry. And that's all they think life is. Eventually, their life is going to end. They're going to reach the end of their destination, but they're not reaching it on purpose. Only people with a vision sees where they're going. They know where they're headed, and they're going to arrive on purpose. See, we ought to say with the Apostle Paul, who said, I have fought the good fight. I have finished my race. Can you all say, I finished my race? See, Paul knew the race he was running because he had a vision. And because he had a vision, he could run the race. Doesn't 1 Corinthians 9 says, let us run with perseverance, actually Hebrews 12, let us run with perseverance the race marked out with us, for us. You know what we ought to be doing? We ought to be running. Can you all say running? Running. But when you don't know where you're running, what do? You walk. In fact, some of you are walking like Tim Conway. What's his name? Tim Conway, thank you. Doesn't that just drive you crazy? But I'm telling you, some of you, that's how you're walking. You know why? I don't want to hurt myself. I don't know where I'm going. What do I do? Do I marry him? Should I take this job? Should I go to school? Should I volunteer for the church? Do you see what we're doing? Because when you don't have a vision, you don't run. You don't run if you're not on the track that God set for you. Because when you eat, drink, and are merry, you take life slowly because you don't know where you're going. So you just take it, well, whatever. That's not how Paul lived. He was a man who's running. And anyone who wanted to join with Paul better be up for the task because he's going to get up and he's going to go preach here and he's going to go preach there because he knows what he's called to do. My wife jokes around. She tells a few people since she's been married to me, you better have your running shoes on because Tom is going to be running. Because I believe life is too short, that the task is too important to not run the race that's marked out for us. But I don't say this to condemn anyone. If you're not running, it's only one reason. You don't have a vision of where you're running. Let's face it. If you wake up at night, it's dark, there's no light, you don't have vision, you don't run to the restroom. I don't care how badly you need to go. Because you don't want to stub your toes. You don't know where you're going. And that's life. Is you need to have a vision in order to run. But some people adopted the little cute India quote that says, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, then it's not the end. I kind of like it. There's a cute, and it's true for the child of God. If you're running the race, you know it's going to be okay in the end. And if it's not the end, it's not okay, then it's not the end. Just keep running. But here's the trouble. For some people, they're not running anywhere to go to any end. And therefore, it will never be okay because they will never arrive at God's end. Do you see this? That's why Habakkuk is told by God, write the vision down. Record it. Know what you see, Habakkuk. And what Habakkuk was praying about is the Babylonian kingdom has overtaken the nation of Judah. They had lost their city. They lost their temple. They lost everything that was important to them. And Habakkuk is wanting to know, are you going to turn things around in our lives, Lord? Are we going to be slaves forever? And God speaks to him and says, Habakkuk, I never lie. I always am faithful. You're going through trials because of your own sins right now, but write the vision. What do you see? I see a time when the bondage will end, when there will be victory. And my question to you is, what do you see at the end of your life? Do you see victory? Do you see purpose? Do you see you accomplishing and receiving the rewards from our Heavenly Father? When you see that, you can run with perseverance the race marked out for us. And that's what we're talking about, is having a vision. I think that's the reason why some people never fulfill their New Year's resolutions, is because it's cute to try to lose weight, and I'm going to go to church more often, and I'm going to do this. But they have no vision of why they're doing it. No clear-cut vision. So we need to have a vision if we're ever to succeed at accomplishing what God has in our life. And here's why. Vision gives purpose to the seemingly meaningless and boring details of life. Here's what I mean. Suppose there's a flood that's coming to El Paso, and you don't want to lose your house, and your house is a little low, and in order to keep the flood from sweeping over your house, you need to fill some bags with dirt. And that happened when I was a little kid a long time ago. I lived with my grandparents, and they had a house that was a little low down in the valley. And I remember that one time we had to put all these bags to keep the flood from entering the house, and it worked. Well, can you imagine? Would you all say filling dirt with bags is a boring job? Right? So as you fill the bags with dirt, it's boring. It seems meaningless unless you know why you're doing it. But you're able to do it for one reason, because you know the reason why you're filling the bags with dirt. You're to protect your house, to keep the flood from entering it. And because you have a vision of why you're doing something, you're able to tolerate it. You're able to see it through, persevere. But can you imagine, just out of the blue, I come up to you and I hand you 100 sacks. And I say, right in the back of the church, there's a pile of dirt. Do me a favor. Fill these 100 sacks with dirt. Thank you. And it's a clear, sunny day. You're thinking, I love my pastor, but I think he lost it. I don't understand, why am I doing this? Do you understand now, when you fill the bag with dirt, okay, I'll do what the pastor said, you're filling it. You understand, it's different, because you're thinking, I'm doing it because a man told me, and I don't understand, though, why he told me. I don't know what the purpose of these bags are for. And what happens after about 10 of these bags is like, is he around? I'm just going to go home. This doesn't make any sense. You give up, and you probably should, unless you understand why. See, vision gives us the ability to understand why. I think that's why some people quit college. They go to college to do something, but through the process, they get so tired. They're tired of getting up early in the morning. They sit down, they bring their books, and they listen to boring lectures. They go home, have to do homework assignment. And after a while, they're like, I'm tired of this. I don't get it. I could be staying in bed longer. I could be having fun during the daytimes. I wouldn't have to stay home at night when I could be out with my buddies and we could go down partying, right? So they give up. You know why? They lost a vision of why they were doing it. And when you lose your vision, then everything you do that's important becomes boring and dull and seems meaningless. But when you have a vision of why you're doing something, then even those boring things, those seemingly meaningless tasks, take on real meaning.